Hi everyone, this is Aryan, and in this video we're going to be doing a breakdown for Social Capital's landing page. So this is one of the brand that I found on Twitter. And if you don't know, this brand basically helps influencer-led B2B brands do the launches. The first thing that I like is how minimal their website is, but that's also a downside to it because I think it hasn't been balanced the balance is very off on this whole page. I've also checked this on phone, and I think on phone it's a bit worse. um and I'll also get to that, like why is that's the reason. And I think as you scroll, right, you can see you have to scroll a lot to get to the next section, and even the font legibility, like it's very small. I know they have done it intentionally, but I think there's a better way of doing it. If you're using less of smaller size of font, then you need, certain elements like, let's say, imagery to balance that out, which isn't there. And even the structure of the copy, right? On if you look at like the first section, we don't change virality, we engineer it. But there's no context, like there's no sub description. Um, so you don't get to like you don't understand what the brand really is about. It's like very abstract. And if you scroll down again, you have this nice description which summarizes the brand quite well, but the structure is off. Like this 400 million views, 500 plus creators, these metrics could have been used you know in a different way. Like the heading could have been, let's say, on this left side, and these metrics or stats could have been placed differently. Just scroll down, you see these brands that they worked with, and for some reason you don't even see their logos. Like it's just written, this is the brand. And they're not showing any social proof also on the first section, so that's another thing that is there. um and as we scroll down, I like how as you're scrolling you go through all the testimonials, so it's not like list of cards, which I think it's a very boring design. But yeah, I think this is a very good way to make people see all the information. Even with this section, it's just like super text heavy. And even with this big claim that they're making, we guarantee a minimum 5 million impression on every launch. Here's how we do it. So it's just like two lines which are like merged with each other. So they're expecting like people to just go through each and every line, which most of the people don't do it. They just came through the website. So that um level of structure and hierarchy, it isn't there. And as you scroll down, then the website ends. So I think the size of the website is fine. Like these many sections are good enough if you're showing proper social proof. uh, but the way that it is like represented isn't well done. And as you scroll down, you see this nice footer. I really like this. I think these are small things which just shows like people care about the brand, and they focus on these small things. And there's another big thing that if you're a designer, you can definitely notice it, is like they're using this seamless styled pattern, but it isn't seamless because you see these artifacts being formed, like these squares that are being, like you can see this outline, these artifacts that are being formed. So I think the pattern isn't implemented well, since it's kind of the edges are like leaking into the next tile. So yeah, this is something also which I just found a bit like annoying as a designer. So yeah, that is there. I love the icons that they're using. I love the blur effect. I really like the preloader that is there, but I think it's taking too much time. It should be like half the amount. So yeah, these are some of the things about the website. And if you actually look at the mobile view, so let's open this, and I'm gonna be pasting it here. And again, as you can see, it's just taking too much time. And see that the font sizes are very small. I think it's slightly glitched. Oh, okay. So you don't even see the logo on phone. I'm not sure like why that is, because even like the biggest brands, like the logo it should always be there so people actually remember. So yeah, there are some questionable decisions which I'm not sure why, those are there. Um, but yeah, let's see how we can improve it. So all right, guys, starting with the hero section. So I've already taken out like their logo and navigation, so it's a lot quicker. So let's get started with the hero section. So the first thing that I see, like they're missing a lot of things. The first is like a good description. I think even a headline can be improved, but I'm just going to stick to the same headline for this video. We're going to be getting some good description, definitely a call to action, which I think is missing certain images that they can show, since they're doing launch stuff. So I mean, unless they don't want to show it for some reason, then they'll have to work on the typography, because usually what happens is if you're showing lesser text, and I'm saying this in context to similar B2B brands, like if you're using like smaller text, like a lot of attention goes to visuals, which are not on the website. So this can definitely be increased by a lot. Call to action, I think I've already mentioned. Description, and also like the social proof, the logos, like they can add lovable logo and all the two other brands, because these are some big brands they worked with. So this only puts good impression on their brand if they show it as the first thing, and it puts more confidence on, and it just adds more confidence to whoever is like browsing their website. So let's get started with that. I'm just gonna quick, and we use like this certain effect they're using, like this is slightly grayed out. So I'm just gonna actually cut this and let's paste it, and let's assume like our viewport ends somewhere here. So now we have a headline. Let's get a little description. So I'm just gonna, and for description text, I think enter will suit a lot better, since it's just a lot easier to read. And I do have some copy which I'm going to be using like through Claude. All right, so I have this nice copy that I've generated with all the context that should be there. So they have this description. Now, social capital is a B2B influencer. Okay, I think this can slightly be improved. Let me first add it here. Okay, I think we don't really need to kind of repeat the brand name, because anyways we're going to show the logo everywhere. So let's get this up. Okay, I think something like this is great. So now you have like a very clear headline, you have a description which actually shows what your brand is about. And now we can get into the call to action. So for call to action, I just need to see what kind of button component they're going with. So I think it's like a pill button. Okay, I think that is something we can do. So let's actually see where it's taking them. So if they scroll down, they click here, it should be Calendly if I'm not wrong. Oh, it's actually not taking anywhere. Oh, it's taking to like the mail. Got it. So it's sending it to like a mailing address. That's fine. We can just use get in touch then. Okay, now we have something like this. And now if we want to show the work, how we show it. Let's not talk about work right now. What I'm going to do is I will add, some logos that are there. Okay, this looks good. But I think one important thing that we can show here is the work directly. So for that, I'm just going to be using, let's actually go to LinkedIn and see what we can search for. So, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy like this video frame. Because I have seen this launch and I think this was something which was quite big. Okay, so as you can see now, I think this looks definitely like a lot better. Like it adds so much, like it has like this good social proof at the back of the launches that I'm assuming that they have done, since it's mentioned there. Just like this, they can search into different videos of different launches that are there, of different output that they have generated. So yeah, this is like for the hero section. I think we can still slightly improve it. All right, so I think this is good for the first section. Obviously I can go into even like more depth, but this video is going to be like hours long then. So yeah, let's get into the second section now. So this is another important section where we have to make it so so the information is like properly divided. Let me create a quick frame here. I like their first line, so I'm literally going to be using the same thing. Or wait, actually I do have a better line already generated, so let's try to go with that. Yeah, I really like this line, the agency built for attention economy. And then we can add certain description. So I'm going to be using like the same text that I've used here. I'm going to center line it. Let's And I think here what they can show is they can show like certain work floating. So this will be like a scroll section. If they scroll down, like the text comes up, and then this description comes up, and you also see certain of their work floating. So for now, I'm just going to be using like just any stock images that are there. So let's actually get into Unsplash. Okay, so we have stuff like this, but obviously this needs some work. So I'm just gonna like set certain of like this opacity to be a bit low, and the rest can be just as it is. Let's do something like this. So as they're scrolling, you'll see a lot of this work being like scrolling up automatically. And right after that, we can show certain numbers. So let's actually highlight numbers here. So we have, and I'm just gonna add like this texture. I think they're not using like the best texture, so I'm just gonna, and boom, there you have it. So this just adds like this similar effect, but it's just like a lot better. Like as you can see, this is liking too much to the eyes, but this is like a lot more smoother. So yeah, there you have it, guys. This is, I think, a very good way of presenting a good B2B website, which works directly with founders. So you have like real faces, you have some real imagery, real numbers, and this just like adds, um, like a lot more value instead of, just being super, super minimal without highlighting, work in specific. So yes, guys, this was it for the video. So I hope you liked it. If you did, click the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.